bloom in your life for 2024. So, when you look at your life and you see it like a garden, fear is like a weed, and trust is like the beautiful wildflowers that grow in your garden. And when you are cultivating your life, moving from fear to trust, you have to confront and actively remove the weeds of fear and use them as fertilizer, as compost to strengthen your trust and allow those flowers of trust to bloom in your life, to bloom in your psyche, in your nervous system, in your whole physiology, so that you're able to embody it deeper and deeper and deeper. So today I wanted to talk to you about the first pillar of moving from fear to trust, which is all about nourishing your nervous system. So when you're in fear, your body is activated in the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, freeze or fawn. So you know that feeling when you're running on adrenaline and you're feeling stressed and tense and activated, you're in fear. And in that space, you're very contracted and very attached to the known. So you are orientating yourself towards what you know, what's safe, what's familiar, what appears to be safe, not necessarily is, but what is in your perception of safety. So for you to shift out of that state so that your flowers in your garden can bloom, you can come into a state of trust by activating your nervous system, by nourishing and supporting and strengthening your nervous system and your adrenals, so that you're in sympathetic nervous system mode, not sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, sorry. Sympathetic is the fear, parasympathetic is trust. So when you're in parasympathetic nervous system, that's called rest and digest. It's when you feel calm and centered and present in your body, and you're able to access much more of your capacity to see what's possible outside of the known. So you're able to actually open yourself more to the unknown, which is the place where all new potential can come into your life. We've been conditioned to fear the unknown, to fear the mystery, to fear what we cannot yet perceive fully with our senses. And as a result, we've kept ourselves from fully initiating into our individuation and our full self-maturity and self-responsibility. So in order to actually move through your initiations, you need to be able to move from fear to trust, and you need to be able to trust in the unknown so that you're able to take the action of what you're being called to take. And this comes to the very first pillar. Time and time again, you have to be nourishing your nervous system and your adrenals so that you're able to feel safe and stable in your body while you're navigating unknown territory and bringing in new into your life, new experiences, which, again, if you understand the physiology of the body, when things have been unknown, they've been perceived as not safe, unfamiliar, when you don't have those reference points to them yet. But it's about building them up so that the unknown can become known through your lived experience. And I see this as such an important practice, especially when you're in January and it's, a time of reflection around where you want to go this year and what you're mapping out. And you have to be mapping out a very stable practice around nourishing your nervous system. So that looks like your nutrition, making sure that you're feeding yourself enough mineral salts, because the nervous system is electrical by nature. And so when you are on a pathway of going into the unknown, bringing about big change in your life, following your calling, following your inspiration, then you want to be making sure that you're feeding yourself adequate mineral salts, things like celery, cucumbers, coconut water, leafy greens, and plenty of glucose in fruits, raw honey, potatoes, sweet potatoes, squashes. And this can apply to whatever diet philosophy you subscribe to, whether you are animal-based or you are plant-based. We want to be making sure that we are adding in plenty of mineral salts and glucose into the diet as a daily practice to make sure that you're nourishing your nervous system in the right way. Nourishing your nervous system also requires that you allow for rest and sleep, that they are very important parts of your practice for taking care of your body. And when we are in the depths of winter, our body is in a much slower energy. The energy is actually going more inward because it's actually time for stillness and reflection. Like we see in nature, things look like not much is happening. And then the energy is building for spring to emerge. And we're very much the same as nature. So when we can match up ourselves to that natural rhythm, then that also is very nourishing and very restoring to our nervous system and our whole body to be able to rest and build up the power that it needs to be able to emerge into the next season, which isn't happening until spring. You know, by kind of February, mid-February, things are starting to get more light and you can start to see growth happening. And that real transition happens in March when we're going through the autumn, or not the autumn, I'm all mixed up today, the spring equinox, and we're making that transition over into spring. So for all of this, moving from fear to trust, you know, there's many different aspects to it. So today I just wanted to talk to you about the first pillar of moving from fear to trust. And if you want to go deeper, I share the 5 pillars of moving from fear to trust inside the Moving from Fear to Trust workshop, which is for free when you order a copy of Moving from Fear to Trust. So if you have ordered it online, you will get that directly to your inbox. And if you have ordered it or you bought it in person, because it has been available in some places, then you can just screenshot me the book to my email info@aisling-fitzgibbon.com and I'll send you over the workshop. For those of you that want to get the workshop to go deeper into this, to apply the 5 pillars of moving from fear to trust, the first one that I shared today, which is nourishing your nervous system and adrenals, you can go over to my website aisling-fitzgibbon.com and you can get the copy of the book, and with that you will get the workshop to your inbox. So for whatever you are mapping out for this year, 2024, whether that's to do with your health, career, relationships, family life, traveling, whatever plans that are in the horizon that you want to be putting into your life, you want to have the framework of removing the fear, which is the weeds, and so that the blossoms of trust can actually emerge. So they're like the flowers in your garden. You want to be feeding them, and you feed them by nourishing your nervous system first and foremost. There's different aspects that I share in much deeper inside the workshop, which includes the 5 pillars that you can apply for creating this foundation for what you are building. And trust is really the key that unlocks everything. So I look forward to you diving in. Let me know your biggest insights from today's video on nourishing your nervous system. And I hope you are having a lovely, slow, gentle emergence into 2024, and look forward to connecting.